scene of the narrator and Tyler Durden in the bathroom. They keep talking about life paths and what their fathers told them to do. At one point, when marriage was suggested, the narrator said, "I can't get married. I'm a 30-year-old boy." This comes to mind now because I was watching a video from Tribe of Men, I think it's called. Romanian guy named Bo. And he was talking about rites of transition for men. We don't have rights for men. Now, do we have rights for women? Well, a woman officially becomes a woman when she has her first period. At least that's the theory and what I'm told. But more importantly to me, I'm not talking to women. I'm not talking about women. I'm talking about men. So really, what do we have as rites of transition? We have jack shit. Unless you go into the military, because boot camp and advanced training are rites of transition, mostly boot camp. They take you, they put you in a liminal state where you're neither soldier nor civilian, and you pass a battery of trials and you come out, and boom, you're a man, you're a soldier. I was involved in a rite of transition a couple of years ago. I don't want to talk about the group. And its biggest weakness was that it was only a weekend. Now, this is not a slam on them. This is how life is now. We have to compress and fit everything in. It's not easy to do a rite of transition in a weekend. It's sort of like a simulacrum, or I can't call it cosplay because that's not fair. It's not cosplay. It's just the time we've got to work with. Nobody quits a job to become a man. If anything, I guess you're supposed to have one to become a man. Back to the 30-year-old boy thing. I had the same exact experience when I was 25, which was decades ago. And it occurred to me that I was a 25-year-old boy. I had no idea what I was doing. And I blame? Yeah, maybe blame is the right word. Maybe it's the wrong one. On my father's poor parenting and a society which really doesn't encourage men and boys to have a mentor-mentee relationship. My folks were from long ago. My dad was World War II. And as much as everybody talks about the greatest generation being all hot shit and that, and they were, I got to give them that, there was a lot of trauma from that. You're talking about guys who went through the Depression, then they went through World War II. They were fucked up. They wanted to put their feet up and rest. And I think in a lot of cases, they thought the kids would just raise themselves. This is both a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing in that you learn a lot of independence. But it's a curse in that you got to make a lot of shit up for yourself. So they would call me a man, but I'd never feel like a man. There are people who will teach you. On YouTube and on Twitter, there's a channel called Order of Man. I've watched a couple of his things. He seems okay. That Bo from Tribe of Men, he's really putting a lot into it. I got to give him credit. He started something called the Spartan Challenge, which is, I guess I'd call it quasi-MGTOW. Bo is a tradcon, so to speak, but not in the worst way. He actually is caring about guys and he's caring about boys and making them into men. You've got other options too. Sorry about the shaky camera, it's inevitable today. You got other options too. You have, well, one of my favorites is Jack Donovan. Now, if you follow the internet, and I can't vouch for whether any of this is true or not, Jack Donovan has what might be called a varied past. He's been a member of sorry about that. He's been a gang member. I've heard it was white nationalist gang, but I don't know. He's been a men's advocate. He's been a frequent speaker at the 21 convention. And from what I've heard, he is an androphile, which is a man who loves men, but without the connotations of being a homosexual. Correct me on any of this if I'm wrong, because I could well be wrong. And the last person on this planet I want to insult is Jack Donovan. But you have other people too. You have Brett McKay. He does The Art of Manliness. Got a couple of books out, illustrated guide to manly arts. Everything from how to ask women out on a date to how to tie your tie. So he covers a lot of that. He's got a subscription service which has you do manly stuff outside, camping, fire starting, stuff like that, I gather. To be honest, if I had the money, I'd probably join it. It sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. Plus, it would structure learning that I'm kind of trying to pick up on my own. Old as I am, I don't camp, I don't fish, and these are both things I'm starting to get into. Anyways, going from boy to man is complex. It isn't codified. We have few to no rites of transition. And if you want to find one, well, you better start looking. Personally, I would recommend the Jack Donovan trilogy of books, The Way of Men, Becoming a Barbarian, and I think the last one's called Building a Better Barbarian, although the last one is, to me, kind of mired in Nietzsche's thought. And I was looking for practical stuff. I wasn't looking for philosophy. But that's just me. Anyhow, get out there, find a mentor and be a mentor. Be good to men and do what you can to make us better. I agree with Jordan Peterson on one thing. Strong men are far less dangerous than weak men. Anyways, you all have a good day. Talk to you later.